This video demonstrates the disaster recovery feature of IBM DB2 on cloud. You can find the disaster recovery option under Administration Arrow Databases. Select your primary database and you will see the Disaster Recovery tab. Remember, the Disaster Recovery tab is available only if your instance is configured with high availability. Now, to enable disaster recovery, first select the DR data center region. After that, you can customize your service name if you want. Then, click Enable Disaster Recovery. As you can see, the DR provisioning is now in progress. Provisioning the disaster recovery instance takes approximately 30 minutes. On the top right corner, you can see the Recent Activity taskbar, where you can monitor the DR provisioning progress from anywhere in the console. If you want to double check whether the disaster recovery instance is being provisioned, go to the IBM Cloud console and open the resource list. You will see that the DR instance is currently in the provisioning state. Now, the DR instance provisioning has been completed successfully. From the Disaster Recovery tab of your primary instances console, you can navigate to the DR instance in the DR region. Click Go to UI and you will be taken to the console in the DR region. Here, you can see that the DR database has been added successfully. If you go to Administration Arrow Databases and select the DR instance, you can see a standby node tag at the top. This indicates that the disaster recovery node has been provisioned as read only. You can also see that the data operations arrow load data feature is disabled because the DR instance is read only. Now go to the disaster recovery tab of your DR node. Here, the DR instance is automatically kept in sync with the data in your primary region. You can see the promote option, which can be used to perform a failover. Click Promote to start the failover process. Once the DR takeover is completed successfully, the DR node becomes the active node, and the current primary HA node becomes the standby node. Here, I am switching to the HA console. As you can see, the HA instance is now in standby mode, while the DR instance is active. Now, I am switching back to the DR console. If you go back to Administration Arrow Databases, you can see that the standby node tag is no longer displayed. You can also see that the load data feature is now enabled because this database is active and is no longer read-only. Now, to perform a failback, go to the Disaster Recovery tab on the DR node. Click Continue and then select Promote to start the failback process. Once the failback is completed, the original primary HA node becomes active again, and the DR node goes back to standby mode. Now, I am back on the original HA instance, which is our primary instance. As you can see, it is now active again, and the failback has been completed successfully.